But I've got a question for you, Craig, because I saw on your graph, your travel graph, that you came from Tasmania across a water area and then over onto the mainland. Now, I remember flying home once from Launceston in Qantas, and as we sort of began to land in Melbourne, the hostess says, "Welcome to Australia." Now, and then she corrected herself. I mean, welcome to the mainland, right? Now, this is a common belief that Tasmania is a different country than Australia, but there are some differences. Now, you and I were talking yesterday about getting that big fossil block home. Now, you said you'd have to go through customs. Now, explain what's happening there, Craig. Why does Tasmania have its customs bureau at the end of the ferry ride?
Well, I guess it's because we're an island and there's certain things we don't have down there. Some of the soil diseases carried in soils. We don't have fruit flies, for example. We don't have a bunch of other problems with, for example, bees. On the mainland, there's the varroa mite has escaped in Australia, which is a real tragedy for our honey industry. But in Tasmania, we've got an important honey industry, for example, and those mites aren't in our state, so they want to keep them out. So we've got our own border protection, if you like, around the island, and we've got to be careful with what we take back in with regards fossils. But they're rocks; they're not soil as such. So we've given them good cleaning. We've sprayed them down with bug spray and cleaned them with anti-mold and all sorts of things. So hopefully they'll get through, no problems.
Yeah, that's good. I've had the same problem bringing fossils from overseas, particularly from South America, where you don't find too many peat swamps in the jungles. You find swamps, but if the plants are going to be accreted, then it has to have a particular environment, like a big flood, to build up huge fossil wood deposits that are rapidly buried. Otherwise, it doesn't get preserved. And I'm sure, Glenn, you've been to the Everglades a lot of times. Have you personally found any peat on the bottom of the Florida Everglades?
No, and you don't find pine trees either. They're an upland tree. They don't like the swamps.
That's right.
One of the things that I've really found incredible on this trip is just everywhere you go, the evolutionary indoctrination on signs. And I've just given a couple of examples of many dozens of photos that I've taken of these sorts of signs throughout the national park, as well as museums and other places. And it's just an incredible indoctrination that's going on. It's actually mind-boggling when you take note of it.